back to ICO review. Let's have a quick look at what's happening in the world of crypto today. A lot of people would be saying that there is a lot of red on the streets. I personally would be saying there are a lot of discount tickets on the shelves, but either way, you can see that the market is down considerably. Look at Vibe there, the standout in the top 100. Saying here, of course, that it's 316, but last night we saw that hit 400%. But we'll get to that in a second. So the reason why this is happening is because of South Korea news, if I'm correct. So new reports suggest that South Korean government is intensifying its moves against the country's Bitcoin exchanges. So two things have happened here. On BitThumb and Coin One were raided by police and tax office officials. And around about the same time, the South Korean Justice Department is moving to prepare legislation that would pave the way for exchanges in the country to be shut down entirely. So, am I worried about this? No, I'm not. We've seen this happen in China. And when that happened, traffic moved to Korea and Japan. I've got no doubt that traffic will move again. It's the nature of Bitcoin. It's the nature of these networks. It's the nature of the blockchain that, as long as there's somewhere in the world where it's not being completely and utterly shut down, the people that are heavily invested in the space will find a way to work through those locations. I have absolutely no doubt. So why is all of that relevant to us here in the ICO space? I hang around in a lot. I lurk in a lot of Telegram groups, as some of you know. And there have been some really interesting changes or juxtapositions in people over the last 48 hours. So we had a lot of people when, say, Vibe was up to like, $3.50 on Binance, something crazy like that. And, the people bashing themselves up for cashing out at 50 cents and for cashing out at $1. Maybe those people are a little bit happier now that the market's crashed today. But, what's the point in that? Why bash yourself up about profit taking? You might not have profit took at 350 like some others, but just consider, where the price of this token is compared to launch. One Ethereum at launch got you somewhere in and around, I think it was like 14,000 tokens for Vibe, if my math is correct. So no matter what way you look at it, if you cashed out at 50 cents, if you cashed out at 20 cents, you were still profit taking. You were still receiving capital that you did not have. And the inverse is, of course, happening now with the current market dip. And some people are beating themselves out for, say, not cashing out Vibe at $3.50 or not cashing out Icon at $12, things like that. But guys, it's a dip. It's called a dip because it goes down and then back up. Look, obviously, I can't guarantee that it's going to go back up. Now, I don't truly know for sure, but pretty sure it will. Just hold, just hang in there, and I'm sure your coin will go up eventually. However, that's all opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, as you all know, but sometimes I have to put that in there. So I suppose, what's the point of this ramble? There are a few things that I do with ICO investing that I want to pass on to the newer people in this space. So first of all, be comfortable taking out your initial investment. I think that every single ICO you do, doesn't matter when it hits the market, if it peaks at $1 or if it goes to $5 or if it hangs at, Vibe was hanging at like 32 cents there for a while. Get your initial investment out if you have weak hands. That way you can at least take solace knowing that you've recouped your money and you're not technically taking a personal loss after that point. And hopefully it'll get to the point for you all where you're not even using your own personal money anymore for investing in ICOs. The second thing that I do after I recouped my initial investment is now I just use the money that rolls over from ICOs to invest in more ICOs. I do have another arbitrage on the side, but that's probably a conversation for another day using Bittrex. So I roll that money from the first few ICOs or the ICOs that have already paid out to pay for my next ICO. So, and that's how this whole review process started, trying to figure out what ICOs to buy into. 1, pull your initial investment out. 2, try not to dip into your personal funds again, unless you're, of course, like raking it in, like making bank. But I really like the idea, just from a personal financial security standpoint, rolling those ICO profits back out into the marketplace. And that way I know that I've still recouped my initial investment. It doesn't matter if my portfolio hits $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 or $100,000 or $1 million. If I've pulled out that very first little $2,000 lot or $1,800 lot, however much it was, I don't feel like I'm personally taking a loss. That might just be my psychological stop loss. That's my security net. That's how I operate. That might not work for you, but that is the perspective that gives me comfort in the crypto space. The third bit is, it doesn't matter what people in Telegram channels or Slack or Facebook, or it doesn't matter what they're saying. If you decide that you're comfortable with taking profit at a specific point, just take comfort in that decision. Take ownership of that decision. And there's just no point. If you took profits from ICON at $10, right? And then you saw it hit 12, or next week it hits 20, whatever. It doesn't matter. Are you still taking profits, guys? As far as I'm concerned, there's too much focus in Telegram channels. Maybe I'm in the wrong Telegram channels. There's too much focus in Telegram channels of, my profits could have been X. I could have had X amount more. But if you're in the green, man, you're in the green, and you're still doing better than every single person that isn't in the crypto space, in my opinion. So just take those 3 things on board for me if you're new to the crypto space. Cash out your initial investment as soon as possible. Use your ICO profits to keep rolling into more ICOs. That's called compound effect, guys, and it's working relatively well for me so far. And finally, make a decision as to when you're personally comfortable in profit taking, and just block everything out from that point. If it hits the point where you profit take and you're happy with that, well done, you're in the green. Carry on to your next investment, guys. But yeah, I wanted to put those things out there into the world, especially during this market dip. Let's see if anything's changed. And if your favorite coin has taken a massive dip, you can cash out if you want. Nobody's gonna, people might judge you for that. I won't. But really, during this dip right now, we've seen it happen before. It'll happen again. I'm personally holding absolutely everything till I hit my personal profit-taking points. Anyway, I hope that little bit of a ramble had some value in there for some of you that are ICO investing, or some of you that are new to the ICO space. I have been your crypto enthusiast, and I'll see you in the next video.